Tumitindi ang tensyon sa pagitan ng Indonesia at China matapos mag-file ng protest ang Indonesia over the presence of a Chinese coastguard vessel sa Natuna Islands, which is part of Indonesia's EEZ or Exclusive Economic Zone. Richard, ano ang effect nito sa sariling claim ng Pilipinas dito naman sa South China Sea? At meron ba tayong matututunan sa ginagawang ito ng Indonesia?
At home, we live in interesting times na, and this year is shaping up to be a very exciting one. Unang-una, pagdating sa Indonesia, there are two things that we have to keep in mind. The first thing is, katulad sa Pilipinas, they renamed parts of their exclusive economic zone. So, tayong ginawa natin, West Philippine Sea, to assert yung exclusive economic zone natin against the encroachment of China. Ang ginawa naman ng Indonesia a few years ago was to rename yung waters of the Natuna Islands na kasama sa kanilang EEZ as North Natuna Sea. But more importantly, yung latest statement nila, sinabi nila na China's 9-dash line at claims nila ay walang basihan by citing not only UNCLOS and international law, but the Philippines Arbitration Award in 2016.
Yes,
so it's very, very ironic na habang si Pangulong Duterte says that let's set aside yung arbitration award natin, or sinasabi ng mga ilan sa palasyo na useless yung arbitration award natin, in fact, the other countries are using that
Sila pa
to assert
nakikinabang,
their rights. Exactly. And Atom, there's also a bigger picture. The bigger picture is that hindi lang Indonesia yung nagpo-push back. Over the past few months, we saw other ASEAN countries also pushing back. In mid-December, very interestingly, actually, while I was in China, this was the talk of the town, Malaysia also submitted their extended continental shelf. So ito, lampas sa EEZ pa nila ito, dun sa parte ng 9-dash line ng China. No? At the Malaysian position is, dapat gamitin yung UNCLOS at international law to assert their sovereign rights. But again, no, they were also inspired by the Philippines' successful legal case in 2016. At napaka-tough yung statements na lumalabas from other ASEAN countries. For instance, ito yung sinabi ng Foreign Minister ng Malaysia. Ayon sa Malaysian Foreign Minister Saifuddin Abdullah, for China to claim that the whole of South China Sea belongs to China, I think that is ridiculous. It is a claim that we have made and we will defend our claim. So in short, sinasabi ng Malaysia na they have the perfect right to use international arbitration if necessary, but also using international instruments like the United Nations to assert the rights. But eto pa, Atom, which makes it even more interesting, ang chairman ng ASEAN this year is Vietnam. If there's one country that has been fighting China for at least 1,000 years, that's Vietnam. And in November, Vietnam also threatened to use arbitration award against China, using against the Philippines as an inspiration. So this is the interesting thing happening, Atom, no? So over the past 10 years, nakita natin may major realignment na nangyari dito sa Southeast Asia. Ang Pilipinas ay mas close ngayon sa China, and the Philippines is the ASEAN-China Country Coordinator. So we oversee the Code of Conduct negotiations sa West Philippine Sea. At the same time, ang Malaysia, ang Indonesia ay lumalayo sa China and they're taking a tougher stance. So this is the major alignment and realignments that is happening here in the ASEAN.